You've probably seen many spiders during your lifetime, but spiders are just one order of the class Arachnida. Did you know there are 10 other orders of arachnids? One order in particular, and the star of the show today, is Ricinulei. Ricinulei is one of the smallest orders of arachnids. It has only one family with 3 genera and about 58 described species. Ricinulei are also called hooded tick spiders, but it is important to remember that Ricinulei are neither ticks nor spiders. Ricinulei prefer to live in dark, damp places such as caves or in the soil. You can only find them in tropical areas of Western Africa and the Americas. This distribution is evidence that this order was around during the time of Gondwana, the supercontinent that split over 180 million years ago. Back then, Africa was joined with the Americas. Ricinulei are very small. In fact, they are only 3 to 10 millimeters long, which is about the width of a pencil eraser. Even though they are small, they are surrounded by a very thick exoskeleton. One thing that makes Ricinulei unique from the rest of the arachnid orders is that they have a thin hood called a cuculus. The cuculus is usually lowered to cover their mouth parts. Their second appendage is called a pedipalp. Most of the time, the pedipalps are tucked under its body. The second pair of legs are longer than the first pair of legs, and they use them like an antenna. Both the pedipalps and the second pair of legs are used to sense the world around them. On the third pair of legs, males have a spoon-like area on the last segment that males use to transfer sperm to the female. This structure is the best way to identify a male from a female. Male and female genitalia are found on the pedicel, the small piece that connects the two body parts. Ricinulei have a special locking mechanism. The two parts of the body will lock and cover the pedicel at all times, except during mating and egg-laying. When the eggs are laid, the female sticks them into her cuculus, or the hood we talked about earlier, and she carries them close to her mouthparts until they hatch. The eggs hatch as six-legged larvae. They do not get their fourth pair of legs until they molt into a nymph. And because they live in the dark, Ricinulei don't have eyes. Ricinulei were first discovered as a fossil in 1837 and weren't found alive until 1 year later in West Africa. The second one wasn't found for another 36 years, and the third for an additional 18 years. Because they are small, rare, and discovered fairly recently, we don't know too much else about Ricinulei. Though it is rare to find a Ricinulei, they are a fascinating order of arachnids that I am sure we have not heard the last of.